Hey, Pudge, what time is it?
It's time for the Chubby Guys podcast.
Woo!
Get everything, get us all straightened out. But
Yeah, Tyler, we've decided we're all going to quit our regular jobs. So
yeah, Tyler, you're next. Well, we can't even get him to quit cutting his grass. Do you cut your grass?
I do. I live on a farm.
Well, I kind of do, but not really. I just have 10 acres and horses, but I don't have. How big a farm you got?
Just a shade under 600.
Yeah, that's far.
Yeah, that's far.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, the grass grows out there.
Now, did you grow up on a farm then, man?
I did.
Okay, so
Yep.
like you've got that background.
What do you farm?
So up until, well, from the time I came back in 2005 until 2017, I did row crop farming, corn, soybeans, wheat, and then I got into a little bit of cattle in 2012. And in 2017, I had 1,000 acres. Whew. Not to mention I do something called surgery.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, how in the world do you keep up with all that?
I was struggling. I was on the struggle bus. Yeah. So in 2017, I just gave it up. It was just too much, and
Excuse me.
For not much. Yeah. Too much for not much.
And remember, I told you earlier in the podcast, I can't run a business. Yeah, I sucked at running that too.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting tax write-offs and making money. No, I was taking a bath.
Man.
So I'd like to have that money back now, actually.
Yeah.
How do farmers like in Ohio like?
Well,
really?
the ones that survive are really business savvy.
Yeah.
And not only that, they're kind of jack of all trades. So they can be mechanics. I'm not mechanically oriented.
They don't have to call
tractors.
guys to fix things. It's
Bingo.
them. I mean,
Whereas if something's breaking for me, I'm calling the guy, and
You're bringing a crew out and they're fixing your
$1,500 later. That's just the service call. That doesn't include the parts.
yeah, right.
You know, so it just got to overwhelming, and then with my job, and then I got remarried in 2018, and my wife and I we wanted to have another child, and that turned out to be 2, and so now I've got like a litter of 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. So something had to give, and the row crop farming, I had to give that up. So now we have cattle.
Short straw. Yeah. True short straw.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
How many head you running?
So we had about 80 last summer.
Okay.
And then I sold 25, and I don't know how it happened, but somehow I got close to 80 again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every spring and fall.
Not sure how that works.
They just keep popping out.
Yeah. It's weird how that works.
Damn bull.
It's appalling. It's appalling.
Yeah.
I'd like to sign up to be him, actually.
Yeah. What a job, man.
So have you bit the mountain biking bug with the rest of them over there?
I have. Although I'll tell you, COVID was funny. We were talking during the break about how you guys got started, and COVID was interesting. I just told one of the anesthesiologists today, if I could go back to March of 2020 and
Hey, are you a business owner looking for insurance coverage? Give this guy a call. You know him. You trust him. Jason Gillum, Gillum Insurance, 740-395-0190.
My God, as a parent of an 8-year-old with a family and moving through life, the best thing I ever did was download the McDonald's app. What a breeze. Order for your family. Pull up. They bring it to you. Easy. Download the app today from McDonald's.
start over again, I would definitely do that again, especially knowing how kind of the backside of this works out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a pretty good time. I took essentially a 2-year vacation.
We talked about that, man.
I loved it.
Like, I mean, and that was the thing. We didn't hate that at all, man. I mean, it was like, man, we just kind of got back sitting there with our families every day. I mean,
So much stress-free.
Yeah. I
but
mean,
it kind of one puts you at peace, but gives you a little perspective.
it does, man. I mean, like, it do a lot of thinking,
You do.
you know, and it was good. Now, I'll be honest. I was ready to start moving a little bit again, man.
Right.
I mean,
have they come out with any data, like mental health data from COVID? Like, is anything?
I don't know. I think it was.
Suicide rates way up
Yeah. I
among
think it was
kids.
really bad for a lot of people.
Suicide rates are way up.
Teen suicide rates are way up. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really bad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'd say we should probably be careful when we talk about how great it is, because I'm sure it was really bad for a lot of people.
I just meant the shutdown from society.
Yeah, man.
I don't mean COVID.
It was a really unique experience. And we were fortunate enough that nobody in our family got sick, and everybody was, doing okay financially and everything. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, wow. I mean, the world literally stopped.
It did. And
for almost a year, and you were doing everything. I mean, I was working, but it was from home. It was Zoom calls. It was
You really had about 4 months of, or what was it, 8 weeks or 12 weeks of complete shutdown.
complete. Yeah.
I mean, and then it fired back up in what, like May 16th?
Well, I mean, for me,
May 21st.
I mean,
something
where
like
my job, you know, if I'm leaving the house, then I'm going to like a hospital or something. Well, you know, they don't want to let reps in there anyway, man. So,
Right.
they had a really good excuse.
Well, they shut elective surgery down, and even I will tell you that the care I think suffered a lot during that time.
I wondered, like,
because
a lot of people probably needed some care that didn't
get it, and I'm seeing some of that now. But
yeah,
you know, why I would like to go back, or at least have the chance to go back and kind of relive that time, was I get to spend 2 years with my family.
Right.
That, you know, I took a break, a 2-year break in the middle of my career. I mean, who gets to say that?
Yeah, dude, it was like being retired.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, it was really pretty
You
cool.
feel like it's over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm back full steam working, you know, hitting it hard every day. There's going to be challenges, obviously, but you just got to filter through the noise.
Yeah.
You know,
Are there some things that have changed forever in the hospital setting now?
That's a great question. I'm wondering if I think the mask thing, it could be here to stay in hospitals.
Right,
I mean,
right.
as an employed physician at Ohio Health, I've got to wear a mask everywhere.
Sure.
And they're very sensitive, and I understand why. You know, they've got to be a leader in the community and set an example.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if the mask thing, it may be here forever.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was actually surprised when they went ahead and took it down for airplanes and stuff. I mean, I was really glad because it makes it a lot easier to fly. But yeah, I mean, in the hospital setting, I got to think that'll be here to stay. And you know, a lot of
crazy time period we went through with that.
Oh man, dude!
You know, history book.
Oh,
I mean, that was just.
Well, I mean, like it was, you know, for guys our age, that was a really unique experience. You know, to be in midlife. You know, we're hustling, going out there, getting everything done, working like crazy, and then all of a sudden it's like,
stop.
You know,
Right.
yeah. And I mean, it was cool. It was definitely an experience that we probably won't get another shot at, and you know, Lord hope so. I don't. I hope we don't.
I don't really want to do it again. That's for sure.
No.
But the mountain bike thing, you know, that's kind of how I got started.
Okay.
Was during that time period, and
I've bid it too.
Have you?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm not able to get up there as much as you guys just being down here, but
right.
But I went full go. I'll probably have to have another bike by the end of the summer. So, you know, it's
ton of fun.
Yep. Not real like jarring. You know, can be, but you know, you can have some bad wrecks.
Well, like if you're driving fast, taking a lot of chances. I mean,
yeah, it can get you pretty good. But
are you hardcore out there?
Everything I do is hardcore.
Okay, so you're taking chances.
I wish it wasn't, but I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
So we buy my boy Finn. This kid, I tell you what, if it's got a motor and a set of wheels, he's all about it.
Yeah.
So we buy him this pedal tractor, and on a night, and it's in April, I think, my wife decides she's going to get it out and start putting it together. I didn't want to put it together, but she got it out, so we were putting it together.
Yeah.
Well, I got this new set of Craftsman screwdrivers, brand new. Have you ever seen the plastic cases these things come in?
I have.
Yeah, it's like Fort Knox.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You can't get them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and now I'm a surgeon too, by the way, right?
Yeah, right.
So I get the steak knife out, and I'm going to cut this box open to get my screwdrivers to put together this pedal tractor.
Yeah.
So I get it out, and I'm trying to take the knife, and I got my hand here holding it, and I got the knife here, and a millisecond before it slipped, I thought, you know, my wrist is not in the best position. I probably ought to change it. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Across the room it goes. So I immediately hold pressure, and I look over at my wife, and I said, hey, you may want to call Dr. Such and Such.
Yeah.
I just transected my radio artery, and she's a nurse practitioner.
Okay, so she knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. So she dropped a few expletives.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm not kidding. You need to call him. So I ended up having surgery that night to repair the radio artery in my wrist. 5:30 the next morning, I call her and I said, hey, can you come get me? Because it was probably 1, 2 a.m. before I got surgery. So this is on a Saturday morning. I come home, I recover. Meanwhile, we worked cows that next day. I had to give vaccinations. Oh, my. So Monday rolls around, and Prater and Kevin Weingartner, and I can't remember who else was with our group. We're going to go mountain biking. I thought, well, it's a radial artery. That thing's pretty elastic. I can ride a bike. So I watched Weingartner go over a little jump, and I had only been mountain biking about 2 weeks. I was like, man, that looks fun. I can do that. I go up. I'm looking up one of these numbers over the handlebars. All of a sudden, my hand feels a little funny, and I look up, and I've dislocated this finger.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I broke it. Ooh. The first thing that popped in my head is like, oh no, I've dislocated my finger. It was like, oh shit, I got to call my wife and tell her I need surgery again.
Yeah. It can go that way quick.
Well, it's like, hey man, like your hands, like they're kind of valuable, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It's giving me a little pause because, I go hard at it. And to be honest with you, I'm not that good, But the only thing I'm really good at is I'm a decent pilot. And I'm a decent surgeon, but outside of that, I suck at everything else.
The woods will eat you. You'll never outsmart the woods. I mean, I think I'm flying, and I know that I'm not. That's why I always tell Jubal like I was born to fly.
Right.
Get out of my way, Jubal. You're a dream killer.
Yeah,
Have you biked with Jubal much?
I haven't.
I've biked with him twice, and I mean that e-bike he's got me ruined.
Hey, do you want to help develop your child's athletic ability? Or maybe you want to get off the couch and make yourself a little bit better? They earn the day at AP Prep. Look them up, apprep.info.
Hey guys, on behalf of the Chubbies, huge thanks to Geiger Brothers Construction. Give them a call at 740-286-0800. They've been great community supporters, and they are a friend of the Chubby program, so thank you, Geiger Brothers Construction. The one that's for sale? I should buy it.
No, you shouldn't.
You don't think I should?
No.
Man, I don't know.
You pay the price to go up the hill just for the fun. I mean, otherwise, the downhills won't be as fun.
Yes, they would. Yeah. I'm fat. Okay. I like the camaraderie in the woods and the speed. I don't like the exertion.
Yeah.
Yeah. The exertion's where I get hung up.
Well, then you need to buy the thing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still got to work a little bit with them, but they're not. I think it would make me go more. But
they're nice because you get to you would get to do more miles in a day.
Yes,
probably quicker. Probably more downhills.
I probably wouldn't do any more miles, but the miles I did would be easier. You don't think that you could do? You could do rather than do it. So grouse is it's one of my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty long climb. Switchback and then back
around.
Yep,
switchbacks are fun, but the grouse is a long grind. Okay. And usually after I do that and do one downhill, we've done some others where we've done a couple uphills.
Ooh. Usually
it takes some time. Yeah. So I think the e-bike takes some of that out.
I hope.
Yeah.
That'd be the whole purpose.
Yeah. You'd be really disappointed if you bought it and then it didn't help.
Yeah, it didn't help. What kind of bike you ride?
So I have an Ibis.
Okay. All right. There's nice bikes.
Ripmo. Yeah. Okay. And so I had bought a bike. Actually, Prater ended up buying it from me, and it was really cool. Loved it. And just like with anything else, I remember I told you for the podcast, I get something in my head and can't get rid of it.
Right.
So I thought, it'd be fun to put one of these things together. Mm-hmm. So during COVID, I bought a frame, and I decided I was just going to build one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How'd that go?
I needed help. Yeah, I needed help.
There's a lot of technical stuff in those things.
There is, yeah.
Especially getting drop posts and all that stuff.
The drop posts I could figure out, but the
fairly simple hydraulic
the shifters and getting those to work clean. I think people that can like Jubal.
Jubal's good.
Super slick. He can look at him, spin him, listen to him. Yeah. He knows what's wrong.
He knows what's wrong. Yeah.
I couldn't even put a new one together.
This is my second one, and it's a Trek Fuel.
Yeah, nice bike.
Well, it's an older one. Bought it off a local guy that was in mint condition. Guy just never. It's probably 10 years old, something like that, maybe a little older. After this season, I'll probably be ready for the next. Maybe I don't know about carbon. I don't know about that yet, but now you're getting up there. But.
So carbon, I didn't think that it was going to make a difference.
Does it?
It makes a difference. Yeah, it's just a lot lighter. I mean, we had this app that you could follow yourself on the trail, and you could time your segments. And when I went to the carbon frame, I got noticeably faster.
Everything got faster.
Yeah.
Huh. So you're an adrenaline junkie? Is that why you're a pilot? Why'd you decide to be a pilot?
Well, the big thing was my daughter plays ice hockey, and she used to go to Unyota, and in order for her to play high school hockey, she was going to have to go to a different school, and the only school in the state of Ohio that offers girls hockey at the high school level is Gilmore Academy in Cleveland.
The only school that offers girls hockey. There's only one.
There's only one.
In the whole state of Ohio?
Whole state of Ohio.
Who in the hell do they play?
They travel.
Michigan, I'd say.
Yeah.
They go to Detroit. They go to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
She had.
My goodness.
She took 2 trips over to Eastern New York to Lake Placid.
Well, they probably run that program like a small college program.
It is.
I mean,
they played close to 60 games this past summer.
Yeah,
or this past winter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
60?
60.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Gilmore Academy, dude, it's no joke. Dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a.
Their
private
boys won
school.
the state title this year.
In hockey?
And boys hockey, yeah. Yep.
How many boys hockey teams are there in high school around Ohio?
So there's club teams, and then there's OHSAA teams.
Athens has one.
Yeah.
They got a high school hockey team.
Yeah.
I think it's club.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah,
club?
it's club.
Yeah, yeah.
But like the schools in Cleveland, so St. Ed's.
Yeah.
Gosh, who else? University.
Okay.
Schools in Cleveland has got a boys team. I mean, there's teams all over, in Cleveland especially.
Okay.
And then Columbus got into it hot and heavy with the Blue Jackets. So
Yeah.
the Dublin schools, Olentangy schools, they've got.
So it's around.
Well, and then
It's
over
around.
over
It's
like
growing.
over around like Pittsburgh, don't you have like
huge.
Swickley Academy
Yeah.
and some of those over there like
Shady Side.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Gilmore plays Shady Side.
Okay.
They go to and they'll play a lot of teams out of Detroit, Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
We do some traveling. So the whole reason why I
So,
got into flying
There's the pilot. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
was because I knew that I was going to have to go back and forth to get her in order, so
Does she live there?
She lives in Cleveland
Okay.
through the school year, and then she'll come home and she'll spend 7-8 weeks with me this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my major mode of transportation, getting her back and forth to Cleveland as I fly.
Wow.
Yeah. And another benefit of COVID,
You learned how to fly.
I learned how to fly during COVID. Yeah.
A lot of us just sat around, drank beer. I mean, this guy learns how to fly a plane, mountain bike.
What's the process of this? So I know you said you were looking at jets, and all of a sudden you were like, "Huh."
Yeah, that was just kind of on a spur of the moment night. I was just bored and on Google.
So give the average
deep,
man.
deep Google dive.
Yeah.
Pretty
Right.
much.
Give the average man, if a man was sitting around right now and just wanted to be a pilot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, I mean, what are you looking at? What are you doing?
We better break out your checkbook.
Okay. That's the first thing.
It ain't cheap.
Give me
Have
an
you seen the
example.
gas prices lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Might
so-
want to take a look. Might want to take a look actually at your balance.
Strong point right there, my friend. Strong point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What kind of cost are we looking at?
Av fuel is usually $1 to $1.50, maybe $2 more than what it is at the pump. So right now, my home airport in Pickaway County, I'm paying $5.75 a gallon, and my plane burns about 16 gallons an hour. So any trip I take for an hour is probably going to cost me just in fuel $100 to $125.
How far can you go in an hour?
Cruise speed, 100. It's like 100 and I think it's like 150 nautical from Pickaway, Circleville to Cleveland, and I can make that easily in an hour. So I can go from Circleville to Cleveland in an hour.
And that's probably what? 200 miles, you said, or 150?
It's 150 nautical.
It's 150, okay, which means in the air, basically.
Yeah, statute miles, which is what we drive, about 185. So
Okay.
2 weeks ago, my wife and I went to Georgia, an hour north of Atlanta, to visit a friend that I trained with, and we made that trip in an hour and 45 minutes.
How do you get, like, whenever you do that, are you high enough that you have to, like, read the coordinates, or are you just following the site?
It's all done by GPS. Yeah. And so you plug in the GPS and the autopilot. You can see it on moving maps. It's, again, like another computer, kind of like a robot.
Okay.
It's a ton of fun.
What about other planes?
Most planes are similar. You've got older planes that had classic six-pack gauges or steam gauges that I think are more difficult to fly. But,
No, I'm saying how you keep from hitting other planes in the sky.
well, the ATC, air traffic control, when you get your instrument rating, their job is to keep you separated from other traffic.
Well, so I thought that, like, 0 to 5,000 was line of sight. I thought that's what Sandy was telling us. We had an air traffic controller on the show,
Yeah.
and he was kind of breaking down the levels of this. They'll hand you off at another level,
Right.
and do all that.
That's through air traffic control in different centers.
He's probably
throughout the
talking about
country.
commercial flight too.
He was, but I thought that he said, like, your 0 to 5,000 or 0 to 10,000 feet is all line of sight stuff.
No, I mean, if it could be cloudy at 200 feet. So
Yeah.
there's VFR, so visual flight rules.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you can fly up to 17,999 as a VFR pilot.
Okay.
If you're going to go 18,000 or higher, you have to have your instrument rating.
Okay. And you do that?
Yes. Yeah. So I got my private pilot. It took me, I kept switching planes. So I ended up getting my private pilot after about 100 hours because I went from one plane to another. And
what is the process, man? Like, okay, you decide, all right, I want to be a pilot.
Yep.
What do you do?
So you have to do a ground school, and most of those are online now. There's plenty of online courses that you learn, and it just kind of teaches the theory behind flying, aerodynamics, teaches you about instrumentation.
Did you have any background in any of this? Or?
No.
Okay.
My dad was actually a flight instructor and always wanted to teach me, and I'd just gotten into practice and surgery, and I was always afraid. I just had this fear that I've finally arrived. And I'd be in a plane and something bad would happen.
Right.
So I never did do it, and it's one of my big regrets in life. Is I wished I would have allowed him to teach me.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I got started in September 1st of 2019. I took my first lesson, and really enjoyed it. And then you got to stay with it. You got to stay. You got to stay in the plane. If a guy's going to take this on or a gal's going to take this on, you really need to fly probably twice a week.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you tend to lose the skill set pretty quickly. You have to have at least 40 hours of flight time in order to take a check ride. Most people check rides where you get checked out to where the pilot examiner, the designated pilot examiner, otherwise known as the DPE, will sign off and says, "Yep, you're now a private pilot," and then you get a license from the FAA.
Okay.
So most people would struggle to get through their private pilot in 40 hours. Some can, but most will not. So typical is probably 60 to 70 flight hours.
Okay.
It's with the fuel costs right now, it's probably close to 250 to 300 an hour. So you're looking at somewhere between 10 to 12 grand.
Yeah.
To get your private, and it's going to be another.
Are you flying somebody else's plane doing this? Like, are you renting
when you
the
first
instructor?
Start, yeah. Typically, you'll rent planes, and that's kind of goes into that 250 to 300.
Okay.
After about 35, 40 hours, I met a guy and become friends with him, and we went in together and bought a plane together.
Okay.
And so I trained in our own plane.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
It made it.
Make you check out your stuff.
Every plane is unique, and so the plane we have now is pretty quick, but a trainer plane's like a Cessna 172, which is probably what you guys are familiar seeing in general aviation.
Right.
I wouldn't even attempt to go get in a Cessna 172 because I haven't flown one in about 300 hours.
Okay.
So, they're all unique and they all got their nuances that you need to learn.
What are you flying now?
We fly a Piper Malibu.
Okay.
It seats 6. We just moved up. It's pressurized.
Oh,
so when I went to Georgia, I went at 18,000 feet.
Oh, nice.
Pressurized.
Twin engines or?
Nope, just single.
Okay.
I've got my twin engine rating.
Okay.
But he and I talked, and we made the decision it's probably best that we.
How much room is in this plane? Is just you and your wife sitting there? Is she behind you? Is she beside you?
No, she's beside me, and then or Caroline, she sits beside me, my daughter, and we've got 6 seats in it, and so we couldn't put 6 guys like the size of us in there and go any amount of distance because everything's weight based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you put fuel on board, you got to be under a certain weight.
Yeah.
But you can fit 4 in it pretty easily.
So luggage, you got your luggage, you got all that stuff.
Yep. You can fit 100 pounds in the nose, and then you can put 200 pounds in the back, and then, bodies and fuel. And our useful load, which is everything that the plane can hold, is about 1,300 pounds. So you just got to work within the math to figure out how much everybody weighs, what they're taking, and how much fuel we need to get where we're going.
Right.
And you might need to take a fuel stop.
Can they get up? Like, can your passenger get up and walk in the back, like move around a little bit if they wanted to? So
the Malibu is really nice because it's cabin class, and so we had a Beechcraft Bonanza, super nice plane, but you're kind of stuck in those seats. You can't. There's not much wiggle room.
Like riding in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the Malibu, if our little ones are fussy in the back, my wife can get out of the co-pilot seat and go in the back and take care of them, and then she can come back up and sit down.
Man,
that's awesome.
I'd be scared to death.
Really?
I don't know.
Probably.
No.
I don't have
At one time I might have been, man, but I've done so much commercial flight, and then,
Would you just go up with anybody?
Well, I mean, like if Hickey wanted to fly me somewhere, I'd go with him.
Hickey.
Yeah, I'd go with him. I mean, we just met Bill. I'd fly with Bill. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I probably would.
Kyle's a well-trained pilot.
Really?
Yeah,
I know he does it a lot.
Yeah. They've got a Cirrus Vision jet now.
Yeah, that's what he's
the
talking
real
about.
deal.
Yeah, and he's flying that thing, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Yeah.
Now flying a jet, that's got to be a different ball
Oh,
game.
no,
too,
wait a
isn't
minute.
it?
We can't be going here fluffing Hickey's
We're not fluffing
ego.
Hickey. We're not
we
fluffing
can't be on here
it.
fluffing Hickey's ego.
No, we won't. We won't.
Hickey, I got.
I give credit where credit's due, dude.
Well, you did.
yeah.
Everybody gives Hickey credit. Even Massey says how smart Hickey is.
Well, I didn't say he was smart.
Yeah.
Do you know Fat Massey comes over there in boxes?
Well, I wouldn't call him Fat Massey.
I would. I saw him eating last night. He was an Archetti shocker. We love him. We love Scott.
Yeah, we like all those guys. But
Scott's not a pilot, is he?
No.
he
sits in the back and drinks beer.
Hickey's his pilot.
Eric is though, isn't he?
Eric is, yeah.
Okay.
So,
I live right beside the Jackson County Airport.
do you really?
Yeah.
That's a fun airport to fly into.
There's a ton of traffic there.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Ton.
You
For
kind of
me.
drop right in.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Oh,
kind of funny because you come over the hills and you just drop right into it.
Yeah.
Whenever you look, be south, you got one way's Oak Hill, one way's it's in between Galplis and Oak Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever
Well,
that-
I mean, I'll tell you, man. My experience with flying is, commercial, of course. Those big planes, you just get on there, do whatever. It's kind of a pain in the ass, Then I was with a company where occasionally we would get to fly private, like like NetJets, Millionaire,
planes,
whatever.
yeah.
It is. I mean, dude, that is a game changer. I mean, you throw your bags in it, jump in, and go. I mean, and those are awesome. And
No cavity searches by TSA.
no. I mean, it's beautiful, and that's why I got to think having your own plane like that's got to be just
It's really nice. I feel very blessed to be where I am.
What goes into the like safety checks and stuff before you leave on the ground? Like, are there very specific things that you're checking for there?
Yeah, otherwise known as a checklist.
Okay.
I'd say there's a lot of very specific
Well,
things
like
you check.
I would hope so. That would be the thing I would really worry about.
So we've got a checklist that I actually click off every time I go through and pre-flight. And it's one thing to get into a plane and learn how to fly and go fly yourself.
Yeah.
But I tell you, when you put people in there with you, I don't know why it changes a switch.
It probably does. Yeah.
It really does when you become responsible for somebody else on board.
Yeah.
You had any close calls?
No.
Nope.
No. I mean, could it happen? Absolutely. And I'm not so I'm not arrogant to think that it could never happen because
Yeah.
it can, and I think about it all the time.
Are you staying aware, or are you just kicking back and cruising?
No. My motor's turning the whole time we're flying.
You're constantly feeling, checking, just keeping stuff straight.
Yeah,
I mean,
I check the gauges all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times where 10, 15 minutes can go by, and I can have a conversation with my wife, or I can talk with Caroline about
if
what's
nothing
going on.
major happens,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, and ATC, you got to listen to your call sign, and they'll call you, and they may hand you off to another ATC controller, and so you got to be aware of those kind of things. You can kind of listen in the background, but yeah, my motor's always turning when I'm flying.
are you hearing? You're hearing them talking to other people too, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic that goes on the radio that doesn't pertain to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you turn that off? But you still kind of have to listen, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they always start with your call sign. So
Which is that your tail number?
yeah,
or-
my tail number.
Okay.
So ours is 910 and so I'm always listening to that tail number, or our Bonanza tail number. I was always listening to that, and you kind of get tuned into it,
Yeah.
and you can when all of a sudden you hear the first couple of numbers and you perk up and listen to see what they got to say. But it's been a great journey for sure. It's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I learned to fly when I did. I turned 49 in about 3 weeks. And I told you I wished my dad had taught me. But if I'd have got my pilot's license when I'd been in my 20s, that'd have been a recipe for a disaster.
Might not have been serious about it.
We talked about mountain biking, right?
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my mentality.
Yeah.
And I didn't really start checking myself until I was probably in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the maturity level has really helped me. And so for example, my daughter and I were in Detroit at a hockey tournament, and we were supposed to come home one night, and I go out to get the plane ready, and it had started to snow. And I thought, okay, snow's not a big deal. Once we fire up the engine, the prop will blow all the snow off the wings. You can't have anything on the surface of the wing. And I go out there, well, it's like frozen rain, and it's sticking to the wing surface. That's a no-go.
Yeah.
So I told the line guy, put it back in the hangar, pulled out my credit card, and Caroline and I went to the hotel and we spent the night. Those are the kind of things that maybe when I was in my 20s that I probably wouldn't have checked myself on.
Yeah.
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 You'd have thought, I can make it.
Yeah, and that's where guys get in trouble.
That's
or
where the
gals
Buddy
get in
Holly
trouble.
stories come in and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Now, I will tell you, you talked about close calls. It wasn't a close call per se, but it definitely gave me pause. So I told you I fly in out of Cleveland a lot. Well, I was dropped Caroline off one evening. It's in the wintertime. I was taking off. Well, usually they route me directly south, the Cleveland departure, Cleveland approach. Well, they took me out over the lake. And let me tell you what, when we talked about VFR and IFR, so visual flight rules versus instrument flight rules. Well, when they take you out over the lake, guess what? There's no horizon because there's no lights over it. It's just a black abyss.
Yeah.
And I thought I had the autopilot engaged, and I didn't. And I'm constantly checking gauges, and I looked down, and the plane was already in about a 25-degree bank, and it was diving, and I couldn't feel it. My inner ear couldn't tell me. And I don't know if you remember, but about 2 years ago, there was a family out of Columbus that had a light jet that went to a Cavs game. And I think the same thing happened to them. He thought he had his autopilot engaged, ended up doing a death spiral into the lake.
Oh.
They never
What lake
found
was
him.
this, you said?
Lake
Erie.
Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah.
Yeah,
'cause that's
never
probably-
found him.
So what'd you do? Just all of a sudden,
They
Well, when I
never-
realized
they
that,
never-
hey, the autopilot's not flying this thing, then
Yeah.
you start checking. I
Yeah.
leveled the wings, and then
Yeah.
thought, oh, here's the issue. And guess what? Just like computers, they do what you tell them to do.
Oh,
and if
yeah.
you don't tell them to do it, they don't do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you have no way of checking. Well,
Well,
then your instruments. I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
Can't feel it.
You couldn't feel it in your inner ear, and that's what gets some people in trouble.
Dangerous.
So
Wow.
it makes you better because you got to constantly follow a checklist and
yep.
Yeah.
see how things are
And
progressing
get better at it.
and get better at it. That's right. So
yeah.
I never stop learning.
Yeah.
Constantly watch videos and listen to other guys, and
So
obviously
you've
mistakes.
obviously developed a big passion for being a pilot and flight.
Yeah, I love it. The fine motor skill that goes along with it, the thinking. I mean, it is a very high level thinking
Kind
hobby,
of
if you will.
similar to surgery, probably in some ways.
It is similar. It's similar in a lot of ways. As a matter of fact,
How do you keep frying your brain?
well, I won't say it happened a long time ago. I didn't really do that, but it is very high level, and aviation has taught medicine a lot. In the operating room, guess what we do before we start an operation? We have a checklist.
Checklist, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful for that because that keeps us out of trouble.
Probably very similar professions, really.
It is. You got to be humble.
Safety wise and
That's right.
protocol wise.
Yeah.
The old mantra of like I'm the captain of the ship and everybody's going to do what I tell them. That's garbage.
Yeah.
We all need help. We need to be on a team.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Got anything else, bub?
No, man. I mean,
I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it. I tell you what, we've got to have him back.
Yeah. Will you come back and see us?
I'd love to. This went so fast.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
And that was probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, pretty close.
Are you kidding me?
It's 8 o'clock.
I've got so
Yeah.
much more to say.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I
you're coming
know.
back.
Well, and I've only got about 100 more questions. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it again. We'll
Yeah.
we'll get you back. But thank you for coming on,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
I love the invitation.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, we'll do this anytime you want to. And
Yeah.
hey, check out the chubbyguyspodcast.com.
Yeah, and hey guys, go get some merch, man.
Yeah, you see
check
that?
it out.
We
Yeah.
got Prater's modeling for us.
Oh,
you
yeah.
seen Prater modeling for us?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he's secretly trying to do.
Well, I mean, he's one of the sexiest men alive, so he's got
the
that nice
nicest new
sleeve.
cars.
Yeah.
That sweatshop's really doing well for you.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. It
And
is.
nobody wears a bald head like that guy.
Are you still going to boxing every morning?
I am.
Yeah.
Not in the morning. I go in the evenings.
You go
I
in
go
the
with my wife. If I don't go with my wife, I get guilted.
I don't know which one your wife is. I know you go there, but and I'm sure I've seen your wife. But I don't.
She's usually the one that was standing right next to me, just trying to knock the shit out of me.
Yeah, you know what? I do remember. I can't put a face with her, but I do remember you working out with a girl over there that was kind of abusing.
Yeah, and she's pretty intense.
Yeah.
She gives me the business.
We're right in the middle of we're right at the tail end of 8U baseball. So a couple nights a week, we're
Yeah.
two to three nights a week we're playing.
Are you coming back?
Oh yeah. I'm waiting on school to get done. Let's get baseball season over with.
Now, are you a morning guy or evening guy?
I like to go in the mornings. It's tough for me to get over there in the evenings, but I love to kick off my day with that.
It is great. I struggle with you got to go to bed so early in order to get up to go do that.
Well, at 3 days a week, I can go to bed at. I didn't tell you this. I've been focusing on going to bed by 11.
Yeah, that's what you said.
And I'm not getting. I do feel more rested,
Yeah.
But it's just I'm still a little restless while I'm doing it. I was a 2 or 3 o'clock in
This
the morning guy.
young guys.
Right.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
9 p.m. I'm a pumpkin.
Are you? Are you 9 o'clock and you're down?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying I'm asleep. Maybe kicked back watching a little telly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you're
You
shut
know why?
down.
You know
You're
why I
shut
do
down.
that?
Why?
Because it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Just kind of start shutting down.
See, I had a bad habit for a long time. I'd be up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I went through that, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
The problem I had is like if I tried to go to bed too early, I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then I'd stay awake too long. But I've not had that problem recently.
Have you guys tried drinking?
Yeah, I've not had that problem recently.
Yeah. Usually, if I drink though, I burp it up all night.
Oh,
Yeah.
There
you
you
know,
go.
so it's just it doesn't go. In
You
my
know what?
favor.
They make a surgery for that. I know a guy.
Oh,
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Full circle.
That's right.
Full
There we
circle
go.
right there.
There we go.
Look him up, Dr. Bill Sever.
BillSeverSurgery.com.
Yes.
There we go.
See ya.
See.